On this episode, I had the chance to speak to Günter Weisshaar, Senior Vice President of Quality Regulatory at Tecan. For those of you that had the pleasure of listening to the last episode I did with Günter, talking about from policeman to partner, I was super excited to welcome him back, this time to talk about building trust and business. Enjoy, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Career Diaries by Elemed, the podcast dedicated to talking about careers in medtech. And today, I'm really excited to welcome back Günter Weisshaar, Senior Vice President of Quality Regulatory over at Tecan. Günter, I'm super excited to get you back on the show. You did an episode a few years back, which has been one of our most popular episodes on From Policeman to Partner, and where I'm excited to be talking to you about getting down to business and building trust with the business. So welcome back.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you for having me here and inviting me again to this podcast. Yes, I'm very excited to talk to you on how quality and regulatory can be part of the business.
So talk to me a little bit about your role today and what it involves.
Yes. So first of all, I'm Günter Weisshaar. I'm 64 years old. I have one son, which is already 34 years old. So this means also, when you get older, you also see, how your kids growing and what it means. Yes, I'm the Senior Vice President, a Quality Regulator for Tecan since almost 21 years. I have been in quality regulatory in the diagnostic industry for more than 35 years. Have been with different companies, diagnostic companies, Boston Scientific, Elemed, Schneider Europe, and since, as I said, 21 years with Tecan now.
What did Tecan do to keep you that long? I have to ask.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we are talking about. I think, what I have been achieving and what I have tried to offer the company smart quality and regulatory solutions. So this is also the vision we in quality at Tecan have to offer the business smart quality and regulatory solution. Not being black and white and not being the policeman, but being a partner. And this is exactly, as I said, what we are talking about today.
And I know that that's a big part of your vision and your philosophy when it comes to kind of approaching quality and regulatory. I'm interested to know, so as Senior Vice President, wearing the quality regulatory hat, but also being part of the management team, how would you describe the purpose of what your role actually is?
Good question. So I remember when we had the FD inspection at our company a few years ago, the FD inspector asked me, Mr. Weisshaar, what is your role? What is the purpose of your function at Tecan? And then I was a little bit surprised why the investigator is asking me this. And it was very clear to me, on one hand, I'm responsible that we are providing our customers and patients with safe and reliable products. This is one hand, and I would say this is the quality head. On the other hand, of course, I'm also part of the leadership team, part of the business. And my other hat is also to support the business because, when the business is going to work, then, our quality team doesn't get the work and we are not necessary in a company and we are paid by our customers and by our sales and our business. So therefore, I'm also responsible for supporting the business.
So what does supporting the business actually look like?
So supporting the business means to me, first of all, nobody's perfect and you can kill a company with overdoing it. And when you are 200% compliant, doesn't mean your products are safe and reliable. So I think there is very often a disconnect that quality and regulatory means, when we are 120% compliant, we have a safe and reliable product. And my approach is always 80% compliance is okay. Because, nobody's perfect. And there are so many interpretations in all the regulations that for the 20%, I have a good story I can explain to any auditor, investor, investigator, and to any customer. So therefore, the business needs to understand we are not overdoing quality. We support them and we find smart solution for any problem or any challenge they are bringing up to us.
So explain that one to me, though, because if you say, okay, 120% compliance or, being 100% compliant doesn't necessarily lead to more safe and effective products. It feels almost counterintuitive. So how does the logic work behind that?
The logic works, that a lot of companies, they invest a lot of effort in compliance activities, satisfying the regulations and the rules, but they are not putting a lot of emphasis or not enough emphasis in making safe and reliable products. Means operational quality, supplier management, incoming inspection, final inspection, design. It already starts with the design, and if you have a bad design, you can be 200% compliant, but the product is not really reliable. So I think, we should also balance, the effort and the money we spend from quality regulatory point of view in the areas where we really can make sure that the product we are selling to our customers and patients are safe and reliable and not just compliant. So this is one part. Another part is also, when you put a product to the market, and I do a lot of presentations for customers, and for the customer, what is important for the customer and for the company, for us at Tecan, time to market. And what can be a crucial impact or factor for time to market is, how long does the submission need? So, for example, if you do a submission in China, it takes you 1.5 years. Now, if you are experienced and if you're good in defining the right intended use, maybe you can shorten the submission time by 2 or 3 or 4 months. And I always tell the customers, if you work together with a partner who does not have this experience and you have a 2 or 3 months delay in your submission, you are losing 3 or 4 months revenues. So this is exactly, I would say the selling point also for quality regulatory, talking about money and numbers. And if you have a delay in your submission, you have delay in your revenue. And I think this is exactly what quality and regulatory needs to do as well, providing smart solutions.
You mentioned a little bit this disconnect between how quality and regulatory kind of operate or see their role and how maybe the business sees their role. And can you talk a little bit more about where you've seen it go wrong and some other ideas around how Q&R departments can improve that perception?
So, what my experience is very often that quality regulatory people are usually not interested, in business-related topics. So if you are talking on market shares, EBIT, market segmentation, and so on, this is something which are usually the quality regulatory people are not really interested in. And I think, this is exactly the point. So, quality regulatory, as I mentioned before, has 2 hats on. Quality regulatory head and as a part of the leadership team, also, the business head. And then, therefore, they have also to show a certain interest on where are we going with the company? What is our strategy? Where are we moving to? What are our target markets? What are our target applications? Because this has a huge impact also on the regulatory strategy. What applications we are talking about in the future? What does it mean? Or, for example, where are the biggest hurdles for the product submission? When marketing usually tells you what is our target market: Europe, US, rest of the world. They don't understand the implication in terms of what is the effort to do the submission. So what we are doing very often, we tell the people, look, we start first in this market, in these countries, because the burden to get the registration done is very low. And then we can move to the US or to Europe later on. Means we have fast sales, and later on we can do the submission in other countries. One example.
It's that linking bit, I think, that that sometimes is lacking. So in the example that you just gave, you sort of said, okay, we'll go to this country first, and it means that. And actually then being able to kind of translate that into impact to the business, revenue, increase in market share. And that's the bit that sometimes is lacking. And I see this a lot with the, when I do interview coaching for candidates, it's like they'll talk really well about their successes and their achievements, but they won't go on to say, and what it meant for the business was that we were able to increase our sales by X% or get, faster to market by X number of months. And that's the connecting point that is turning somebody from just Q&R into more of like a business partner. When you look at the business more broadly, what would you say are the things that they want to hear about?
So, I mean, of course, the business, they want to hear about, how can we save money? How can we be fast? How can we not overdo it? And I mean, sometimes, it's, I would say, difficult for the quality regulator people, but my approach and what I tell my team is everything is risk-based. So, again, you can be 200% compliant and your product is still not reliable and with high quality. So therefore, I think every decision taken by the quality regulatory team should be risk-based. And risk-based means also the implication to the business. And what we offer, for example, another example, when you do your submission, your product submission in the different countries, the effort to do and all the documentation and product classification is depending on the intended use. So what we have started a project defining a smart intended use to reduce the effort for the submission and eventually also to review the high classification from class 3 to class 2 based on the smart intended use. For example, is one proposal. Or when it comes to IVDR implementation or LDT in the US now. So every product needs a lot of money to get it compliant. But we have been talking to the business. We have a reagent portfolio in one of our sites of 600 reagents. We were recommending to the business, we have to review our portfolio, because if we get all the 600 products compliant, it costs us millions. Now, what we have done a portfolio assessment and a business case for each product. And guess what? Half of the products have not been contributing a big portion to our overall sales. So we could skip half of our products and we save millions of dollars or Swiss francs because we don't have to bring them to the IVDR compliance. So those are the things where we have really examples where we could save a lot of money by supporting the business and give them ideas how to streamline the portfolio.
If we take that one step further, so if we're taking this example, right, and just to really break it down, what would you say in when faced with someone who says, okay, but I don't understand, because these products that you're talking about cutting are contributing X in revenue, and actually by cutting these products, we're therefore not getting that revenue.
But this is exactly what I meant before. So for each product, we have done a business case. So meaning, you're doing, as a company, you're doing a strategy. What are our key sellers where you made 80% of your overall revenue. And then you have, probably a few products, they have a strategic importance. And then you have, legacy products or old products, which are, on the market and nobody cares of because, your life cycle management probably doesn't really work. So exactly what we have done is we have done for each of the product or product line a business case and see how much do they contribute to our overall revenue and what would be the investment we have to do to get them compliant. And then we came to the conclusion that we can, skip half of the products because they are not adding a lot of value to our total revenue and to support our future strategy in our markets. And therefore we could just, sell them now as research use only and not as diagnostic products anymore. So means we can save a lot of money. And then, if you then show the numbers, what we have been saving, really good. And, very often the business people and the sales people, they don't review their portfolio and there are still a lot of legacy products and they are happy that they can now, reduce their portfolio.
Yeah, because it's not just revenue, right? It's revenue and versus cost.
Maintenance, yes,
and of keeping it there. And that's actually like where you can focus in and look for opportunities to rationalize. We had a conversation about the reputation of Q&R departments now that, the European regulations, we speak about IVDR. And have you seen any change in attitude of company leadership teams around believability of what Q&R departments say is going to happen versus what actually happens?
Yes, I think, the IVDR and MDR was a good example where the European Commission have been coming up with timelines and I mean the requirements in the new IVDR and MDR, they are 5 to 10 times more than it was with the old IVDD. And of course, most of the companies, they were in a panic mode. How can we do it to reach the timeline? And of course, we as Tecan, we also did it, and we brought our products compliant to the new IVDR. And then guess what? Everybody knows the situation. First of all, there were no notified, or just a few notified bodies which were able to do the file review, and now they have postponed the timelines. And I mean, I have heard the same with my CEO. We have now invested so much money, and now everybody else can catch up. And we have spent so much money. Nobody knows what the Commission is doing, and we thought it would be an advantage if we are the first. But I think this was a learning for us as quality regulatory organization not to overdo and overreact when there is an announcement of a new regulation. First. Second, I think the trust between the business and quality regulatory is not just because, all these new regulations. It's about, getting good feedback also from your customers. And I think the best promotion for quality regulatory is if the big key customers telling your management, hey, your quality organization is great. They helped us, they supported us, we get fast submission done with our OM products and so on. This is the best promotion you can do. And then the other part is, very often quality regulatory people are not very creative, and they are not thinking do good things and talk about. And what we do at Tecan as well is, we have a newsletter, a quarterly newsletter where we talk about, success stories about, with customers, customer feedback in this newsletter. We have our own quality brochure where we it's a kind of a sales brochure where we hand over to our customers and sharing with them what our capabilities, skills. We do supporting customers in their submission, consultancy, quality regulatory consultancy. So I think this is an area where most of the quality regulatory people don't really see, and that they can also promote what they are doing, because my inner feeling is that quality regulatory does a great job, and I do it now since more than 35 years, and I'm still a high believer in what we are doing is an added value to every company in our space, in our diagnostic area. So, as I said, we have brochures we hand over to our customers. They are asking us, can you help us for the submission? And we do it, and we get good feedback from our customers.
Yeah, and I think you hit a really good point in the communication around the value add of the departments. I know some brilliant people out there, but there's sometimes a hesitation to talk about how they've helped a company or what some of those good results have looked like, because of the fear of coming across as arrogant or boasting or selling yourself really like hard or whatever. So what advice would you have for people that are feeling like, hey, I don't want to talk about all these great things because I don't want to come across as too arrogant?
I think it's not about just talking about the good things. I think it's about, exchanging experience and I think projects with the business. So I think the trust factor, as we said at the very beginning, is most important. If the business doesn't have trust in the quality regulatory organization, they are not going to share anything with quality regulatory. And then, the behavior of quality regulatory is like a police. And we need to do kind of, police behavior, because we need to know what is wrong. But if you have built up the trust by supporting the business, for example, or finding smart solution when there is a topic, quality regulatory topic, for example, people come to me before a milestone and ask me, we have this issue in the development process where we cannot fulfill our requirements. And they come ahead of the milestone to me asking me, what is your recommendation? What can we do? And then usually what I provide, or my team, 2 or 3 options, how they can solve the issue. And we let them then choose which option they take, where we think from quality regulatory, from compliance and risk point of view, we can support it. Once they have decided which one they want to take, we help to implement it. And this generates trust, because we are not just saying no, it doesn't go. We say, okay, we have 2 options or 3 options. Tell me which one you want to take. We help you to implement. And by having this approach since a few years, I can tell you, people, they don't hide anything anymore. It's the opposite. They come to us, even with small things, and asking us, can you tell me, give me your opinion on this. And this takes time. And I think, still a lot of people, there's in quality regular Mr. Yes or Mr. No. There's nothing in between. And, the entire life, you have compromises. And I think in quality regulatory, it's exactly the same. You need to be open for compromises.
And giving options, you still control the overall route, let's say, in terms of the overall pathways, right? But you're giving options, so it's allowing the other person to feel in control of the decision, and it's bringing you towards them as like a solution provider rather than just somebody that's going to say yes or no. So let's say somebody's in a company right now. What are some of the indicators that the trust is not there between the business and the Q&R department?
I mean, a clear indicator for me is that, a salesperson never asked a quality person to do a presentation in front of a customer. They don't usually let quality regulatory people in front of customers, because they're afraid that, they are, making any comments, whatever. And I think this is one indicator. Except there's an audit, a custom audit, then of course, then they are part.
Then they're putting them in the front, in the spotlight.
But when it comes to selling a project, they usually don't let quality and regulatory people be part of the meeting with a new potential customer. So this is one indicator. Another indicator, of course, is if they don't share information with you, and you have to you get information via 3 or 4 people that something went wrong, and they don't tell it to you, or if they don't approach you with the respect you hope you get as an equal business partner, oh yeah, quality, I experienced this also with some people coming new, and they think, quality, yeah, we don't like it, but we have to have it because we are in this business. And I mean, if this is the case, then you see that you are not really accepted as a part of the business. And I have to say, it has to do with the culture of quality in a company. And if you ask me, when I'm probably retired next year, what I'm most proud of it in my 21 years with Tecan, it's not the 7FT inspection without any finding we have done over the last few years. It's really to change the culture of quality in the company. And it starts from the very low manager level up to the management board and the CEO. Everybody is aware of our processes. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody is approaching us, and I think this is the best environment for all the quality regulatory people you can work in, if quality regulatory is a part of the business.
So and well done, by the way, on the 7 FDA inspections with 0 findings. I mean, that's an amazing achievement, as well as building and changing the culture of quality, of course. So let's say you're someone who is starting a new job. You're going into a company. I don't know. You're going in as a quality director, and you start to see some of these indicators that actually the trust is not fully there. What do you do to turn it around?
The first thing is, what I do is start with myself and my team.
Okay.
Because, all the changes starts with you. It's not about what you are saying. It's not about what you think. It's about what other people perceive and how they perceive you or your quality organization. I did once an interview with a potential candidate in the US, and I was asking him exactly the question: why do you think quality and regulatory is seen as, nobody likes them, but, we have to have them. What do you think is the reason? And he said, they don't understand what we are doing, and, a typical answer. And I said, wrong answer, I said. it starts with you. If they don't understand what you are doing or what we are doing as quality regulatory, if they don't respect and accept what we are doing, we have to change something. And, there's the old behavior, quality regulatory. We are the bosses,
Police,
we are the police. We say no or yes, but we don't help you. This is the old behavior. And a lot of quality regulatory people and organizations don't understand, environment has changed. Business has changed, and the requirements for a quality regulatory person has changed a lot. So we need to, I once did a presentation. I said, what are the biggest skills quality regulatory need to have? We need to have the technical skills to understand, the instrument. We need to be a scientist to understand the application. We need to be a psychologist, to talk to the people after a bad audit. We need to be a kind of priest and tell the people, FDA is coming at one point, but nobody believes it, and we have to convince them that FDA is sooner or later coming. And we need a lot of skills. We need to have social skills to talk to all management levels. And I cannot talk to a CEO or to a CFO about ISO 13485 or 21 CFR 20. They don't care. And I think we have to adapt the way we talk to people based on the audience, based on the management level. And a lot of people in quality regulatory, they don't get it. They talk to a CFO about ISO 13485. They don't care. They care about market shares. They care about revenue. They care about EBIT. And we have to sell our achievements and goals and translate it, as you said before, in money. What does it mean? How much did we save, or how much market shares did we gain because we have helped the customer to do a fast submission?
So what I'm hearing from you is it's important to be like a chameleon, right? And you have to change depending on who you're talking to and what triggers them and what interests them, so that you can build that relationship and build that partnership.
Yes. Once I heard from somebody, if you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. So this means you have to change. Otherwise, otherwise it continues like it is, and quality is seen as, we don't like them, but we have to have them.
So if we talk about aligning goals then, how do you go about aligning goals of quality and regulatory to business goals?
So usually every company has a vision, mission, strategy, of course, and this vision, mission, strategy needs to be broken down to all departments, including quality regulatory. And as I said before, usually quality regulatory, they don't care about strategy, overall strategy, which is for me absolutely wrong, because I think we can contribute a lot to the overall strategy. So what we have done at Tecan, so we have taken the overall vision, mission, and strategy of the company and broken it down to our vision, mission for quality regulatory. What does it mean for our daily business? What does it mean for quality regulatory? We have defined our key imperatives. And what we have then done, we have set up, a project list, and we have then linked all our projects to the key imperatives, to the overall mission, vision, and strategy. How, with each project, can we support each of our key imperatives derived by the overall strategy? We are not starting any project in quality regulatory where we not support one of our key imperatives, which supports the overall strategy. And this has been shared also with the entire management. So they know exactly what projects we are doing in quality regulatory and which of the projects we are doing supports what part of the overall strategy. So it's also strategy work we are doing in quality regulatory, and I think this is also important to share then with the business, that they see, we contribute as well to the overall strategy, and not just marketing or R&D and operations, it's also quality.
And that's contributing to this business first mindset then, right? Making sure that all your goals are fully aligned with the overall business objectives. What are some other kind of practical tactics that you can talk about when it comes to adopting a business first mindset?
So as I said before, I think you have to build up the network to the business partners.
Yeah.
And a lot of people underestimate the relationship management. And the relationship management, it's not just to your boss or to your people, it's also to your other peers in your company, internal, external stakeholders. And my approach always was, to establish a good relationship to a CFO, to our sales heads, and so on. Because if I am fighting with, my peers in the management board, my people in quality regulatory, they have a hard life in the different entities, of course. So networking is a key. Then giving them the feeling they can benefit from the work quality regulatory is doing by supporting the business. Having good customer feedback from customers, and I mean, I have tons of feedback from the big diagnostic companies where they really were happy how we have supported them. Being part also of strategy meetings, being part of customer meetings to do a promotion speech on quality regulatory, because come on, all the big diagnostic companies, they cannot work with a garage company because, they have to be compliant, they have to do submission. They need a partner with these skills. And we can sell our skills. As I said, we have done a brochure to these customers, and they are more than happy. And we have even won some business because quality regulatory, because our strengths in this area. And I have numbers where we have, made more revenue because customers have chosen Tecan due to the skills in quality regulatory we can provide.
So talk to me a little bit about that then. So how do you go about helping win projects? You're not quality regulatory or not sales teams. So how do you go about doing that?
Well, as networking, internal and external stakeholders. So I know all my counterparts in the big diagnostic companies. So the VP quality regulatory, I am not naming any companies, but I know all the VPs or senior VPs. So what I do always is try to establish relationship with these people. And I tell you, this helps a lot. So for example, if you have an FDA inspection for, maybe the focus is no product, I call my counterpartner at the big diagnostic company, can you support us? If they have an FDA inspection, they call us, can you support us? Can you do a back office at your site, for example? With this network, I know exactly they are pro Tecan, of course, because they know the skills and what we have done over the past to get to this level, and we can talk on the same level in quality regulatory as, as I said, the big diagnostic company. So internal networking, external networking with all the peers, from your big customers helps a lot to gain business. And I have concrete examples I cannot mention yet, but I have concrete examples with one big company where we won the deal due to their, I would say, appreciation of the quality regulatory support they got over the past. And we got a few million deal because really their quality team has recommended Tecan as the partner.
Wow, very, very good achievement. And it just goes to show that, you can still contribute to company sales, even if you're not officially a sales department, by building that partnership and building that network, because ultimately everything in business is who you know and the relationships that you have. What are some of the other outcomes then that you are most proud of from having this business first kind of quality mindset?
First of all, I'm proud of my team. Of course, I think the team has been undergoing an evolution, I would not say a revolution, but evolution over the past. And as I said, it starts with us. It starts with quality regulatory. And it was a long, hard way and a learning until we came to the point where we are today. We did a internal survey, how quality regulatory is perceived. We put a mirror in front of us. We got clear feedback from the business, quality is demanding, not one voice, not part of the solution. And then we have been over the years working on these topics with external consultants, coaches, to address these topics. And then I think, we have changed organization. We hire people with this mindset, with the business mindset. We have been doing workshops to exercise on how can we support the business. And I think this is one of what I'm really proud of, that the change and the evolution my team has done, including myself, of course, over the years, that we are really, really, business oriented. And the one thing doesn't exclude the other thing. So even we are business oriented, and I say 80% compliance is okay. We have passed 7 FDA inspection with 0 findings. So you know what I mean? You can combine it. And I think this is also something I'm really proud of. Our business sense, the 80% compliance approach, and still having great result in passing 7 FDA inspection at different sites with any finding, not 1,483. So, and if you can show this, I would say, approach and combination, risk-based approach, 80% compliance approach, business-oriented, and still having great result in inspection and audits. I mean, what does a CEO need more than this kind of quality organization? I mean, he doesn't have to care. He can fully trust in quality regulatory, and this is the best for any and every CEO, getting out of trouble and getting supported by quality regulatory.
So we've spoken about so many different ideas here and concepts, from sort of like very tactical to like really big strategic programs of like how you can build that trust and focus on the business. So just give me like one thing though, Günter. So like for everyone that's listening right now, that's like, wow, okay, so where do I start? What should I go away and do right now to take action, to build trust within the organization? What would you recommend? One thing.
One thing. Start with yourself, as I said before. Start with yourself and reflect you and your team, how you are perceived by the organization. And every change, as I said, starts with you. You cannot force the other people, to change. It starts with you. And when you change, the rest will change as well. I mean, I have seen it in our organization. When we really started to make big changes with our organization, with ourselves, the business and all the people around us, they have also changed. They have really changed, and they have made, a big step forward in working together with quality and regulatory. So it's really, I think, it starts with us. It starts with ourselves. And then, of course, the second one, if I'm allowed to do a second one, is the networking. I think this is key. Networking. You need to establish a great relationship to the business, to internal, external stakeholders. And I mean, I can call tomorrow all my counterparts at the big diagnostic companies, ask for help, or they ask me. And I tell you, as you can feel, after 35 years in this area, quality regulatory, I'm still completely excited in what I'm doing and what my team is doing.
So I think it's been a fascinating conversation, and probably we'll have to get you back another time to talk about networking on another subject, because I know you've got a lot of value to add there. But before I let you go, I have one final question for you, which is the question I love to ask all the guests on the show. And that is, what is the legacy that you want to leave on the world?
The legacy I want to leave is, business-wise, I would say, to show the organization and the companies that quality regulatory can be added value to every company by providing smart solution, as this is part and we have defined in our vision. Privately, I want to do things which remains when I'm not anymore on this earth. That people remind and remember, this is something he left to the benefit of, the world and people. And, I think once I have learned is there are so many people, where they try to get benefit from you. And I think, I want to provide benefit to others. And not being seen as just taking as a taker. I want to be seen as a giver, supporting others, supporting companies, other people, and they remember, me as being, a privilege to be known. As I have people where I think it's a privilege to be around them, and just having those people as a part in your life. And this is something I would, if people talk about like me when I'm probably somewhere else.
I think that's a very noble legacy to want to leave, and you're definitely well on the way to having created that. So well done. And Günter, this has been an amazing episode, full of value, jam-packed. As always, I knew that you were going to have so much to add. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show.
Thank you for having me, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you. Again, and hopefully we'll get you back another time. And to everybody listening, don't forget to give Günter a follow on LinkedIn, give this episode a thumbs up, a like, a comment, follow our show, subscribe to our show so you can be notified every time we drop a new episode. And I will see you next time for another episode of Career Diaries by Elemed. That's all for today. Thank you and goodbye.